and want to kill you at the first opportunity they get.
That's right. It's kind of funny that it's such a parochial point of view, because the ruling liberal elites love to paint this picture of conservatives as the backward hicks who never leave their hometown. But the understanding that liberals express about people in other countries and people of other ideologies is so limited, it's almost cartoonish, that they think that somewhere deep inside a jihadi is George Clooney just waiting to get out. That's just not the case. That is not how it works. There is no inner Lena Dunham inside Osama bin Laden. That is not happening.
Yet we're the morons to these people, Caleb. We're the morons to the liberal elites.
Right.
Well, to me, it just bespeaks a naive kumbaya, hopeful, wishful unicorn thinking that really just boils down to, it immediately makes me think of Sting's song Russians, that, oh my God, they have children too. And can't we just reach that common ground together? The reality is that these folks aren't, per Sting's song Russians, concerned about their children and the world that their children live in.
Look, Michael, they judge the world as they would like it to be.
Well, yes, that was my point. My point is that these people are actually strapping vests to their children. I mean, there is no inner peace, love, and equality inside of them at all.
Well, it's hard for someone who doesn't believe in anything other than their own mastery of the world to understand someone who believes in something other than themselves. So it's very hard for them to understand people that have a religious ideology.
That's right. All right. Hey, Caleb, we are just about out of time here, man. Take a minute and pimp your site, where people can find what you're doing, and et cetera, and then we're going to let you go.
You bet. I'm at Rabble Writer, spelled like it sounds, all one word. And, of course, you can always find me on Twitter at Caleb Howe. I pretty much do everything under my name, so it's not that common of a name, so it's not that hard to find. But, yeah, everything I do goes up on Twitter. That's the easiest place to find me. And, of course, I write for Truth Revolt, Red State, and The Rights Group. I have new articles at all three sites up today.
All right, Caleb Howe, thanks so much for being on, brother. You have a great afternoon.
Thank you very much. Y'all have a good one.
See you, Caleb. You know, dude, I knew him because setting aside, well, that's why he came up to me, in that cruise meeting, because we remembered each other from the short time he wrote for us at IJR. But he was sporting this rocking this big official looking video camera sitting on his shoulder. So I don't know what he was into at the time, but he was definitely doing some serious taping for a purpose, but pretty smart dude.
You know what? It's such a fun thing doing what we do, the people that we come in contact with. I mean, I've been friends on Facebook with him for a while, and we follow each other on Twitter, etc. And the guy's stuff, I mean, on all three places, plus now his new site, he is a really insightful and good writer. And frankly, it's a privilege to get to know people like that and have them on.
That's fun again, and we've had a myriad, and we will have a myriad more. But it's and he's to an extent like us, and us like him, if you will, to the point that, or to the extent that this guy is a serious thinker. He can be humorous with it. He can throw in some satire. I mean, as referenced, by the article, the discussion on Cracked and Mad Magazine stuff. But I love people that are like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's it's funny that with all the stuff going on, it's very easy to get down. And then you meet people like this and people that are making an impact on the culture. And it gives me some reason for confidence, let's put it that way.
I think in a couple of different ways, because obviously Caleb Howe, Michael Hausen, Mike Miller, other than Mike Miller, who plays for whatever NBA team he's playing for right now, there's not a lot of people, relatively speaking, that know who we are. And there are lots of voices out there like I'll just say his, okay? I won't go so far as to say ours. Okay, ours too. That need to be heard and read by more.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Hey, Jessica, we're almost out of time, aren't we, Mike? God,
We
I
gotta
just looked
go,
at the
man.
clock.
Take us out, dude.
All right, you have been listening to The Right Mics with Mike Miller and Michael Hausum. We will be back for another half hour just after the news, and we will look forward to talking to you, discussing a couple other important things we need to talk about. We will be right back.
This is Kevin Jackson of the Black Spreaker Radio Show. Listen to Vigilant Liberty Radio.
What's going on in your head? I think your brain is gone dead.
At Independent Journal Review, we publish news that is objective, fair, and entertaining. As one of the top websites in the United States, it's our duty to bring the absolute best to our readers like you. IJReview.com, your number one source for news and entertainment.
This is Lachlan Marquet of the Washington Free Beacon, and you are listening to Vigilant Liberty Radio.
The ad says he doesn't have a horse in this race, but Retractor knows he does. Now he's got egg on his face. The donkeys on the left got owned by a kid. They can say it was a crime, but Retractor knows what he did.
Coming soon to Vigilant Liberty Radio. The Edge of Anarchy. Mondays on VLR.
Hi, this is Matt Lewis from the Daily Caller, and you are listening to Vigilant Liberty Radio.
At Independent Journal Review, we publish news that is objective, fair, and entertaining. As one of the top websites in the United States, it's our duty to bring the absolute best to our readers like you. IJReview.com, your number one source for news and entertainment.
Welcome back to Mike Miller's The Right Mics, featuring Michael Hausum. Thanks so much for listening. By the way, if you want to call in, no guest planned for the next half hour. The number's 412-567-6879. Follow us on Twitter, at The Right Mics, our website where we link articles, show topics, other discussion items, things that are interesting to us that kind of expand. It summarizes the radio show as well as expands on some of the things that we're talking about. That's at therightmics.us. Another thing I wanted to bring up real quickly, another article that I did over the weekend that just kind of went off, and it was kind of interesting to me. I'm definitely interested to see what Miller had to say about this.
See, I'm not going to bust in here, but I am. I wasn't gone as long as you thought I might be. So based on what you tried to do last week, I just thought I'd let you know that I was listening.
Well, you had to love what I said then.
Well, I just now started listening, so you're bragging about something you wrote, and then you said something about Miller. That's
yeah, but I brought us in as thank you for listening to Mike Miller's The Right Mics, featuring Michael Hausum.
I thought That's that's actually pretty funny, but it would have been funnier if he would have said, "Welcome to Mike Miller's The Right Mics," featuring Mike Miller.
And I am his assistant, Michael Hausum.
And it is a junior associate, Michael P. Hausum.
Intern, Michael Hausum. Hey, so this hacktivist group, Anonymous. Did you see this story, Miller?
I did. May I ask you to do something just very quickly that you just told me off air first?
Maybe.
Well, I don't mean that. I never share that stuff that you say.
Okay.
Because, we have this kind of image that we want you to be able to maintain. No, I'm kidding. But no, the story that just broke on Slate. Let's talk about that for 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So here's the deal, is we started out the show an hour and a half ago talking about and criticizing the president or any significant members of the administration from being at the Unity rally, right?
Right.
So this just
for
hits...
not being there.
For not being there, right. So I'm sure this is all over the place, but since Slate is kind of my go-to source for news and opinion, I always have Slate up on any device that I'm with, whether it's my phone or iPad or computer. This is the headline. White House apologizes for not sending high-ranking official to Paris Unity March. White House spokesperson Josh Earnest said today that the Obama administration regrets not sending a higher-profile official to the rally. Who went on our behalf, Mike, was the ambassador to France, Jane Hartley.
Okay, so my first question to you is, why do you think they now, and I'm going to do air quotes, regret not sending someone of higher stature?
Well, even Slate, this is the third paragraph. Symbolically controversial absences have been something of a theme for Obama, who's been criticized in recent months, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So if Slate is coming out talking about how, hey, you know what, these cats aren't around when they should be, maybe that's trickled down.
I think you're exactly right. And, I told you this also off air when you told me about it. Imam Carey came out. First of all, he, again, condescending. Well, I think this quibbling, and he used the word quibbling about whether, any of the big shots win or not is just, beside the point. And he goes on to say, John Kerry's one of, well, there's a lot of them in the, but on the left, particularly in the administration, liberal media, okay, they only open their mouths to change feet, right? So Kerry then goes on to say that he would have loved to have been there, but he had a prior commitment, which is true. He was going to attending at the time, an entrepreneurial conference in India. That was more important.
The irony of John Kerry being involved in an entrepreneurial conference is not lost on me, by the way.
That's exactly a good point. And Eric Holder, maybe not at the time, I believe was in France doing something else. I believe that that's true. So, no, it's because they've been hammered. Listen, they don't give a damn when they're hammered by conservatives. But we got everybody from Andrea Mitchell to Slate they got skewered. Who was it? MSNBC. Just stunned, to use your word, at the stupidity of them not being there. And I think that them, in my opinion, is I think Obama should have been there. You know what? At least Joe Biden should have been there.
Right. So here's the White House says that security concerns precluded Obama from making a high-profile public appearance on short notice, while anonymous administration source who spoke to The Atlantic ahead of Earnest's remarks said, well, the rally was not about us, which the magazine then interpreted to mean.
You know what? I'm sorry, and I normally don't swear. That's complete bullshit. That's spin. It's complete spin.
Right. Well, I do imagine that, we do these articles every once in a while. The last one we did is the one I put up about Australia, that we took 4,000 room nights for the president to be in Australia for one night.
Exactly right.
how in the world are they going to at last minute reserve 4,000 hotel rooms, get 900 people, 17 planes, 428 cars, and all of